Question 1436. Would you ever get pregnant just to save a child you already have?
That's a silly question to ask me.
Why?
Absolutely.
You've done it?
I mean, I have developed somewhat of a belly, but I can assure
You don't
I'm
need.
not
Excuse
pregnant.
me. Oh, don't be a. You do not need to get pregnant. You would have to get someone else pregnant.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, so you're not even letting the males get pregnant. We could totally I would be pregnant to save a child I already have. Yeah, anybody here who has kids knows the attachment that there's just like, I don't be pregnant for 9 months, my child dies. It's 9 months.
Yeah, anyone that has a child that's that kind of ill that you need another human being, surely you don't have to wait for 9 months. And you could get it elsewhere instead of actually having to have a child.
I'm looking at this though, and I'm getting a little deep and thinking about it here. So you have a child that has a genetic disorder, and there is nobody that is genetically compatible to it. It has been known for parents to have another child to save the one.
Yes, that's
I think
the scenario.
that's maybe where you're going, Dave.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
You get 2 babies. You got another little baby brother or sister. Kids are great. They're fucking hard working. Sometimes you want to slap them. And my wee girl, I thought was asleep at 3 o'clock in the morning the other night. No, she's feeding the dog 500 grams of fucking dog treats.
Half a ton of bacon.
No, half a kilogram of fucking dog treats. I thought she's sleeping. She's awful quiet. No, she found the secret stash of Christmas dog treats and was feeding them to the fucking dog.
Nerdy
Dog
says
was
yes.
happy.
Dog was very happy. Yes, I'd get prego at the drop of a hat. Johan says, to clarify, is this one of those scenarios where you have another kid to donate bone marrow or something? Yes. I mean, that's a perfect example.
But again, the likelihood of having something that rare and having no one else in the world.
You've got to understand the point of the question.
I understand the point of the question, but it's a bit of a non sequitur.
The point is, see, Lone Wanderer, there we go. But now we get into the morality of using someone else for spare parts.
Exactly.
The only reason they were born was to be used.
Right. Now, spare parts, though, Dave, if I bought a car for spare parts, then that car is useless after I use it.
Yes.
I wouldn't go so far as saying spare parts.
All right, what if you went down and got a kidney?
Well, a kidney, a kidney is easier to achieve than whenever you have a child to save someone. It's like Johan says, it needs to be so fucking specific.
Now, I agree with you that it has to be so specific, but my point is where is the line? At the point at which you require an organ from that
I want
child.
I want to take a different position on it.
Go on.
Try to look at yourself as the child who had the kidney taken.
Yes.
And you're 18 and you find out that this is what happened. I would feel proud as hell to know that I saved my
would you?
brother or sister.
I think an awful lot of people would be pissed off that they were only brought into that they were only conceived to save the brother or sister.
Is that any worse than the fact that I was conceived at a wild New Year's Eve party?
No, I agree with you. I don't disagree. The reason that people come into the world is basically meaningless. At least the one that was conceived specifically for this one thing.
And I'm with Jenny, because if you find out when you're 18, you've been loved for 18 years. You know for a fact that your parents love you. And that knowing that one particular fact, I don't think would crush anything else, if you do it justice when you tell them.
Yeah,
and besides, at this point,
it would be different if you had the fucking child number 1 and child number 2 in order of birth, okay? In order of birth. And then you did treat child number 2 different. As Peter says, if the both of them were raised exactly the same, and anybody genuinely, there is families that want one and done, and there's families that want more and stuff. And you know, you have 2 kids and you will love that child as much as you love the first one. They were planned. It used to be.
So it's really easy. So my ex-girlfriend had a baby sister. She was an accident. what's worse? Being an accident or being brought into this world to save someone's life and still be loved?
I'll tell you, Elena wasn't planned. I fucking love the bones out here. I wouldn't change it for the world. Someone will mute me or I'm going to go proud daddy.
So, exactly. That's the point.
And the other thing is, if I'm going to switch up again now, and now I'm the parent trying to make this decision, if I'm going to do this, I would say yes, I will do it, because very possibly, you might even say very likely, that within the next 20 years, we'll be able to grow this child a new kidney to replace the one we've harvested.
Well, you see, I can put it another way as well.
How
could you justify not doing it?
Here's a better question. What if you do it and you have a child specifically to save the other one and it doesn't work?
Mm.
Right.
Then you have all of that guilt laid at the foot of the new child.
No,
I
don't think you would.
No, because that would be nature rejecting a part. You cannot blame you.
In which case, when do you stop? Do you then put your body, as a woman, speaking as a woman, do you then put your body through another 9 months of pregnancy and risk becoming ill from another pregnancy? How many pregnancies are you going to have until this actually works? Whereas,
if we had a child, right? If I had a baby for that specific reason and it didn't work, right? Then that child is obviously just born, whatever age the other one is, could be 5, could be 6, could be, whatever it is. They're still a child, but they're now passed away. I would wait to a certain age before I would tell the other one.
I would never tell the other one.
Pardon?
I said I would never tell the other one.
See, you don't exactly. There's another option. You don't ever have to tell them. But I would wait to at least a maturity level. You're not going to tell them at 3 and 5 and make them feel guilty. You'd tell them 18, 19, 20 maybe. And as Peter said earlier, if you've shown them the same amount of love as you've shown the first one and are genuinely loving of as a parent, then I don't think there would be that guilt.
But my second point still stands. When do you stop?
Because
if the first,
do you know
what I mean?
It's entirely up to the mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
No one else.
Yeah. Personally, I would try it once. I personally couldn't go through that again. But as Jenny says, up to the mother. If they are capable of doing that.
Just let me catch up on the chat. Chad says, the question to me is morally equivalent to, would you donate stem cells daily for 9 months? The question really depends on who needs the baby. Not a fan of Soylent Green. Ox says, to interfere in nature's way is wrong no matter the results. Uhan says, I don't know if I would/could. I won't know unless I'm in that scenario. As far as everyone else, not my business.
Hang on. What was the one before that?
The nature's way one.
Nature's way again. Hang on,
Yeah.
no. I want to combat this, okay? I really want to combat this. We interfere in nature's way all the fucking time. The fact that I am in a house and not a cave, that is us changing nature. The fact that I can get penicillin when I'm sick is intervening in nature. The fact that we can get on an airplane or a boat and go to a different continent is changing nature. So
the fact that you could put on your shirt.
You're using my argument if people attack me over homosexuality and say it's unnatural.
Right.
I ask them, do you own a car?
Yeah.
That's it.
Sorry, that nature argument it's like, I don't know, it's like nails on a chalkboard for me.
I don't know. I think it's somewhat relevant here, and a different way. Never Again says, there are plenty of movies and shows that show all the issues that can cause. I don't know what sort of Disney spin you put on it. The parts kid will know it. No Wonder then says, then we get onto the topic of medical autonomy, and don't forget, as soon as that child is born, it would need its own advocate. Nerdy says, so Dad, let me get this straight. I was only conceived to save my sister.
Well, I mean, the question is, in that regards, is can an infant give consent for a medical procedure to save their sibling? which they can't, because it becomes, as an underager, it's on the parents to make medical decisions.
But the parents are.
Although if any argument is going to put the kibosh on the plan, I would think that the bodily autonomy of the newly born child would be it. However, I think we probably already run into situations where a child too young to make that decision.
Well, the problem you've got is if both parents are in agreement
for that purpose.
And turn it the other way. Turn it the other way around. Let's say you have the kid born and you don't go through with the procedure, and then at 18 tell the kid that he could have saved his sibling, but that never happened.
See, that's wordage again, there, Peter. You could have saved your child, but you fucked up and did it. All right, or you.
That's That's why I said, how could you justify not? But Chad's got an interesting point, right? Which is
no. I'm not saying the kid could have saved. If you tell them at 18, the parents decided not to go through with it, you would have been able to save their life. Your kid would never talk to you.
They might resent it. Level of resentment there. Chad makes an interesting point that the second child would not exist if it was not. It got the opportunity to exist. It would not exist without it.
Right, I wouldn't go so far as saying not exist without it. My mother and my father both, we had me, and then they planned to have another child 3 years down the line because they wanted me to have a little brother or sister. If a year down the line they found out I was sick, and they had my brother then, 2 years.
It would be a different child. That child would not have got the opportunity to exist.
But you're getting so panicky about that sperm cell and that egg.
Yes, because that's relevant.
It doesn't matter. It physically doesn't. It literally doesn't matter what sperm and what egg match together when it goes.
No, it does to that sperm and that egg.
Well, hold on.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
You've watched far too much Red Dwarf. You've watched far too much Red Dwarf.
Dave,
the fucking Eliminator.
Dave, I can explain this really quick. If you plan to have a child or you have a child by accident, which one of the two would you love more? Which one of the two?
It's not relevant.
No.
Not relevant to what
the question is specifically, would you ever deliberately have a child deliberately to use that child to save the life of a sibling?
Really nasty in your language, they're crafty.
Oh, I'm anti-just.
I love her accent. It's just so beautiful.
I mean,
Irish accent out of all the Irish people that we talk about.
We had a little retreat, didn't we?
It's a great question. I'm still sticking with yes, I would.
I'm gonna have to skip over some. Peter, how do you know they loved you? They could have been cold and calculated and just did it for spare parts. I think vaguely obvious.
Yeah, he gets a fucking trip to, kid number 1 gets to go away for 2 weeks. Kid number 2 doesn't even get a toy train.
I'm so far behind.
Here's my take on it. If your parents are willing to have a second child to save your life, probably they will give the same love to the second child and not look at the second child as just being born.
I think you're probably right. Uhan says new answer. It depends on the role play.
If you have that amount of empathy that you would want to save your child, your second child would be as important as the first, no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I would not, for the simple reason I'm for choice in pregnancy, but as soon as that child is born, it is an autonomous human being. Yeah. And if the parents aren't going to protect it, it's just like starving a child. If the parents aren't going to step in to protect it, someone has to, and that has to be the state. And so if you're going to abuse your child by using it as a test subject to cure another child, no. The state has to step in and protect that autonomous being.
I must agree on a certain level.
I need to go
hold
back
on.
to
I was speaking first. I have to agree on one level that the only cases I've heard about this happening where a parent have deliberately brought a child in to use them has been for things such as bone marrow that is not going to exist as a loss for the child, as in losing one of your kidneys or half your liver, which of course can grow back, or something, or one of your eyes or something. It's
so specific. It's usually a genetic thing.
I also want to go back to the question,
right, but
because,
whose bone marrow you use is genetic.
The question was specific, and now we're putting all kinds of different things into the question that Dave didn't ask.
Well, yes,
Dave
you keep trying to bring in love. Which...
Yes. No, hold on. But you asked a simple question: would you have a second child to save the first? That only leaves one conclusion: that if you do that, the first child will be saved. It's not a test. You're not going to have a ton of kids because it doesn't stick with the first, the second, the third. It would be a done deal. It would be 100% sure if you do
No,
this.
it's never 100% sure. But for the relevance of the question, we'll accept that. Go on.
There is no done deals in nature.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. But for the
can't either shoot meatballs out your fucking nose. But that was a question on this quiz too, Crafty.
Yes. But the point is, for the purposes of the question, we're going to go with that. Yeah. It's certain.
If you keep the question at the simplest, I will file a copyright strike.
If you're going to keep the question at its simplest asking, yes, how could you not? If you're going to start to bring in the variables, then you're not answering a question. You're beginning to a discussion in philosophy and morality.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
And I think that there's lots of ways to justify both sides of it.
Yes. This is the whole idea. Dave has no idea what to do with content, hence him looking up silly questions on the internet. So we ramble for 20 minutes.
Oh, please, I didn't write this question. Right, next. Right, there. Lone Wanderer says.
The question.
We haven't got to the chat yet. We'll get to there. I haven't even got Manda yet.
Just answer the question.
Not yet. Lone Wanderer says, to have a child to save another is disgusting. I would never do it ever. There is no choice for the child you made to save the other children. Children do not have medical autonomy. Anyone who does this is a monster, and I would not save them if they were on fire.
Would you kill for your child?
In what context?
Exactly.
Well, look, it's not our job to try to change the people in chat's mind. Their
when you
input is perfectly valid for the discussion, without trying to convince them otherwise.
I know I can say right now, as a parent, I would do absolutely anything to save Elena. And if saving Elena brought into the world another child that's a mini-me, that's as annoying as she is, that'd be brilliant. Okay, they came into the world with a reason, but it's provided that we're not chopping their fucking arm off to give it to the other one, and they will live a full life. I wouldn't do it if child number 2 had a diminished life. But if child number 1 could live a full and happy and normal life, and we could also keep 2 kids, brilliant. I want fucking 3.
Wait, I've got to go.
I still think it's a better reason than, hey, you were an accident.
I don't disagree with that particularly. Right. Ox had a comeback. He said, humans' biggest mistake is believing he is the master of nature. He is nothing more than part of it.
No, and our part of it happens to be most sophisticated than any other creature on the planet. And so we have these tools and skills that we can use that they cannot. And that's our part of being nature, in our nature.
I think we've interfered with nature enough to say that that's not entirely the case. Just asking Manda, climate change, that a thing?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Dave, you should stop asking questions that involve kids and people being parents, because this always happens.
This is great. This is a great question. I think I'm going to have to keep a note of this question and come back to it.
I agree. That's why it's an excellent question.
Right. One word answers. And this includes people in the chat because I've had to skip over so much of what you said. Right.
God, I wish I was reading the chat. This is great. Go ahead.
The chat's been fantastic. I think I could do an entire show on this.
Friday, we're having an open mic night.
We're having an open mic night on this. Right. Ginger Nation says yes. Lone Wanderer says no. Manda says...
I was the first one to answer. I said
You said yes.
And everybody else talked after that.
I did.
You fucking ate one and dipped out, bitch. Fuck off.
Peter,
What?
yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Jenny,
Yes.
Crafty,
Nope.
Math Pig.
Yes. And enthusiastically, yes.
Enthusiastically.
I still love you, Crafty.
I still love you all too.
I don't think
I'm a little iffy on her.
Brainbug
What with
says
the bacon
yes.
and everything else?
Brainbug says yes. Yes, I would.
Next question.
Nerdy says no, as I can't have children. That doesn't count, and it's not one word.
I did spend 20 minutes ripping off Crafty from your politics stream the other day.
Yeah, that was funny.
I'm on ribs going, yeah, this. Yeah, I'm looking really smart. Yeah, it's fucking Crafty from your stream. And she pops up and joins the stream. And I'm like, hi, Crafty. Hi.
It was enjoyable. At least I know someone was listening.
I got some great compliments from that stream and from the other stream.
Did you download and save and double record it while you
I did that one. Yes, I'm still waiting for the other one.
No, the big, really, really long one. Did you record it for OBS, on OBS? The
No,
one
we
that
didn't need to.
down?
No,
Dick.
but I'm hoping I can get that back. I got the inauguration one I did,
Ah, good.
but not the riots, which is the one I want. I thought that was a good stream.
That was a great stream. It was very interesting conversation.
I
Despite what was happening, obviously.
know. Theo says, "Stay strong, Crafty." Ox says, "No, not ever, no way." If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.